Alrighty, YouTubes, like Air Cobra coming at you with another guitar lesson video. Somebody asked me to do this one, so now I'm going to do structural defect. And this is probably going to be one of the shorter and very simple ones out there, because it's one of the simplest ones by them I know. So obviously, right off the bat, most of you probably already know this. But the tuning, it's in standard tuning, down 2 steps. So you've got from low to high, C, F, A sharp, D sharp, G, C. None of that drop C stuff. Even though this is mostly played on one string, so you could do it in drop C if you wanted. I just don't. And it starts off. All it is just palm muting on your open string, number 6 string. And you hear it's left and right panning, so you hear one guitar coming first, and then right at the end of one of the riffs, you hear the other one come in. So the very first guitar, you hear it start off just going. And then right on that last note is when you hear the other guitar start off. So that's the simplest stuff there. And then right before it comes into the main riff, you hear them just do a slight variation at the end of that, where it's just chugging, so kind of like a little bit of the. A little bit like that, kind of like that. And then that's when the main riff starts kicking in. I've been, watching some videos of them playing it live, trying to watch the hand and finger movements. I was like, I don't know about you guys, but I prefer to try and look at Koichi playing it instead of Zero, because, the only thing you're seeing Zero do is this, kind of constantly. To me, it almost looks like he's miming it, but it's hard to tell for me. Like, Koichi seems to be going a little more precise. And I've seen Zero playing the main riff in a way that just doesn't seem to make sense. From watching Koichi do it and listening really carefully in the album itself, it seems to be most likely it's just the simple open and on your 6th fret of all on the number 6 string, just easily played like that. Sounds like you're hitting the 6th fret once, and then doing 2 open notes in between each one, along with the riff trails off with just a single open note, so mostly a little like. That's what it sounds like. It's like, for a bit, it's like, this may not be right. I don't think it is. But for a while, it sounded to me like there was doing a slight variation of that, where toward the end of it, instead of doing just 1 note on the 6, you'd hit 2, and then come out with the single open note, and then 1 last 6, like that. So it would be, whether or not I explained that right, it would sound a little bit like it was going like this. So yeah, they're adding more notes to it. That's what it sounded like for me for a little bit. But I think the first way, the simpler way, is what it actually is. It's just how I've come to hear it. Like, I don't know, pick whichever one of those you like more. Either one of them sounds really good. And that's basically the entire song. I mean, aside from the end of one of the choruses where you hear him comes off of it, he hits the open note, open power chord. That's the only power chord really in the entire song. and you hear that trail off. So you hear Tony come in again with the structural defect. You hear a slide. That's pretty much the only instance of that in the entire song at the very end. Pretty good stuff, because it basically just comes off like this going. It just ends with that chugging riff. Now it seems they do it live. I suppose that probably is the same way on the record. Is when you hear one of the guitars hit the open power chord and let it ring out. It sounds like you got a dubbed guitar underneath it, you know, going, kind of doing the muted strumming with a flanger effect over it. So that's what it definitely sounds like. You can hear like a really slow flanger or phaser effect going on underneath the ringing out open power chord. But I mean, structural defect is really as simple as that. So, I mean, if you don't already know how to do that song, well, maybe the way I play it helped somebody out there. So, go give it a shot, and let me know what you think about it. Keep disco evil.